Yesterday, the Carolina Hurricanes made their first trade of the trade deadline season when they acquired Jesse Puljujarvi from the Edmonton Oilers. In this episode of Locked On Hurricanes, I give my thoughts on the trade. We listen to what Puljujarvi had to say in his media availability, and we also think about what the Carolina Hurricanes will do next at the trade deadline.
You're Locked On Hurricanes, your daily podcast on the Carolina Hurricanes. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Hey there, Caniacs. I'm your host, Jared Ellis, and you're listening to Locked On Hurricanes on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. And as always, thank you for making Locked On Hurricanes your first listen of this Wednesday afternoon. Don't forget to follow the show on Twitter and Instagram at Ella_Hurricanes and myself on Twitter at Jared Ellis_96. And like I said, the Carolina Hurricanes have finally made a move at the deadline. We're still a few days away, but they have finally made a move, and that was acquiring Jesse Puljujarvi from the Edmonton Oilers. This was a trade I'm not super surprised about because I'd heard rumblings of them potentially trading for him as far back as the beginning of the season. So it's not one that I am personally like super surprised about. I'm not, and it's a trade. It's a trade I'm interesting to see how it pans out because with Puljujarvi, he hasn't lived up to the expectations there in Edmonton, in my opinion, considering he's such a high draft pick and he just hasn't produced as well. It kind of reminds me a bit of Jesperi Kotkaniemi. Guy, he's drafted really high in Montreal, didn't necessarily live up to the expectations they had on him there, and then the Hurricanes tendered an offer sheet. I was about to say they did move on from him, but it's kind of what I liken to that. It's going to be very interesting to see how it pans out. A change of scenery can definitely help a guy, and we've seen it across not just hockey, but just sports in general. Sometimes a change of scenery is what a guy needs, or a girl. It doesn't really matter. And with that, he's in a really good place to succeed. A lot of what I've said about Jesperi over the couple seasons that he's been here, he's in a good place to develop. The Hurricanes are really good at developing young talent and kind of getting them up to pace and just where they need to be. And with Puljujarvi, I think it's the same way. I think it's going to be, there's definitely going to be some growing pains and getting used to things here for sure. I am 100% expecting that. But one thing that I think will work in his favor, not only of just being in a good organization where they're good at developing young players, is the fact that there's a whole bunch of other Finnish players on this team. And literally before I hit record, the NHL's Finnish account, they put out a picture of, they marked out Carolina and put Finnish Hurricanes and like all the Finnish players on the team. There's a lot, and I do think that is something that'll help him. Especially you look at Sebastian Aho and the chemistry they have, and just the friendship, not just on ice chemistry, like the friendship that they have. I think that is something that is really going to benefit him here in because he already knows how to play with several of these folks, and it's gonna be interesting to see how it pans out. It is definitely like a depth trade. It wasn't one where we're kind of all thinking it's going to be a blockbuster trade and whatnot that the Hurricanes were going to make. And a lot of the guys that I've talked about here, Meyer, Tarasenko, I didn't want him, but Patrick Kane, a lot of these guys that were names that we were hearing about them potentially making moves for, they've already been moved, to the Ranger, two of them to the Rangers, and then to the Devils, respectively. And Yeah, so it's gonna. I really don't know who they go after at this point, but it's gonna be really interesting to see what happens from here because yeah, depth forward was a thing that I think they should have went for at the deadline, and that's what they did. And I think a seventh defenseman would be uh, a decent move as well, going after someone there. And then, like I said, keep saying they need a goal scorer. They need to make a blockbuster trade to get over the hump. And you know, Puljujarvi, yeah, I obviously wishing all the best with that. And but he's not Timo Meyer. Kind of everyone who we thought we were gonna get, it's not Timo Meyer. And it's gonna be interesting next few days. Who knows? In the middle of recording, after I get done with recording tomorrow, whatever, we could very much see that next big trade that the Hurricanes make. But we're just gonna have to wait and see on that. This is a trade that I'm fine with. I know I may sound a little critical of it, but it wasn't what I was expecting. And I think that's where a lot of people were, to be honest. I think a lot of people, had their hopes up of, Timo Meyer, and or, another really big name that was potentially on the trade block, for someone. And I think that's what everyone was expecting from the Hurricanes. So this trade, I'm excited to see how it pans out. The guy has a lot of potential, but it's not what any of us were expecting. And I think that's kind of the, I guess, underwhelmment that I'm kind of seeing from a lot of folks. Everyone was expecting like a blockbuster trade. We didn't get that, but at the end of the day, he's here now. I will see in a bit. If he's playing tonight against Vegas, I don't know. I don't know. But we'll just have to wait and see on that. Obviously, it's a really late game tonight for the Hurricanes, so we won't know for a while. It's just now 12:25 in the afternoon here in Raleigh as I'm recording this. So it's going to be a while before we kind of get an idea of if he's going to play tonight. And we'll talk about that more later on in the afternoon with a game preview episode. But we did get to hear from Puljujarvi himself yesterday afternoon, and we will hear just what he had to say to the media right after this quick break, folks. Now, folks, it's that time of the year. It's starting to get warmer outside. People are starting to go outside more. If you need a treat on your hike in the park or in the mountains or wherever you are, Built Bar is here to help you out. And we just got through the holidays, so a lot of people, wanting to eat healthier when they're going on those hikes, having a healthy treat rather than just junk food or whatever. And Built Bar is just that for you. Built Bar is healthy and it is actually tasty. They're covered in 100% real chocolate and they have great flavors like churro, my personal favorite, peanut butter brownie, coconut almond, and many, many, many more. There's going to be something for everyone there. And again, they are very healthy. They have only 130 calories with 4 grams of sugars and a whopping 17 grams of protein. And now you don't have to wait around for a box. If you want to order them online, you can, or you can go to your local Walmart or Sam's Club right now and get them. Literally right now. As you're listening to this episode, you can go get them. You can head to Walmart and get a 4-bar box of cookies and cream, double chocolate, or coconut puffs. I personally go with the double chocolate there. I do really like that one. Or if you're close to Sam's Club, you can run there and get a 13-bar box of brownie batter, which is another personal favorite, and churro, which is, again, another personal favorite. And again, guys, you can thank me later. Or again, you can go online to built.com, find more flavors as well, see something that piques your fancy, and order it. And let me know how you enjoy it. Take pictures when you're on a walk in the park, in the mountains, on a boat, fishing, whatever. Just make sure you're enjoying your Built Bars, folks. Now, we did get to hear from Jesse Puljujarvi yesterday afternoon after the trade was made, and this is what Puljujarvi had to say yesterday when he spoke to the media.
It wrong. So if you could help us out, the name pronunciation, so we all get it right, is what?
Oh, So my first name is Jesse, and last name Puljujärvi.
So there is that second U in there, Puljujärvi.
Puljujärvi.
Okay, good. Then my real question for you is, as you found out news of the trade, you go to Carolina now. What's your immediate thought of becoming a Carolina Hurricane?
First one was like, really, and after that I was like excited and happy. So yeah, I'm really excited and happy to be part of Carolina right now.
Corey, go ahead.
Hey, Jesse, welcome to Raleigh, I guess, virtually. I guess the big question is, this has been rumored for a couple years that maybe there'd be interest in this. How much of that do you think is your connection to Sebastian? And how excited are you to have a chance to play with him again after the way you two and Patrick played in the World Juniors, in 2016?
So yeah, I'm really good friend with Taho. We have played like many years at the juniors and be friends after that, like last 10 years, and working same crew at summer. So it's really fun to get like playing NHL at the same team. And yeah, I'm looking forward.
Ryan?
Yeah, so welcome to Carolina. Just what do you kind of know about the Hurricanes and kind of Rod Brind'amour? Are you kind of coming in with any knowledge about that, or kind of what do you expect?
No, I know they have like really good team, young guys, and they play like really fast hockey, and they have like, yeah, they're so good team, and I really like to be good player part of that organization and the team.
Corey?
Yes, obviously there's a lot of expectations with being a 4th overall pick. And things probably didn't go the way you wanted in Edmonton. Do you have any, thoughts on maybe why things didn't go well for you there? I know it's been a tough, really from the start, tough for you there to kind of gain a spot and a foothold and be a bigger part of their plan.
So I see like that there is like up and down. So there is good times and a little bit hard times, but everything what I had here, I have enjoying, and like everyone have different kind of careers, and yeah, it's been a pleasure to be part of here and get like be NHL player, and now I'm getting a new opportunity, and I'm excited of that.
Gibby?
Yeah, well, that's the question I was going to ask you. Yes, just the fresh start. I mean, a chance to start over. Do you think this could kickstart your career and send you on your way?
So, yeah, I hope so. This is gonna be good for me, and I'm gonna work really hard to do everything right and be best player what I can be, and help the team in Carolina, and yeah, hopefully everything's go well, and I will enjoy every day.
JB?
Hey, yes, yeah. Welcome, JB Ricks here with Spectrum News One. Welcome to Raleigh. I wanted to ask you. A lot of the fans in Edmonton had great things to say about you once the trade came out. But one thing that popped out to me was the Bison King. I was curious if you could let me know what's that Bison King about.
So that was we have like at the start of the season, I think last year. Here is like Bison Park. So we went there, and there is like you can walk around there, and actually then we went there, and there was like on the road was really close one big bison. So then like we was like 15 meters there, and we take couple pictures with the big bison, and my dog was there too, and I post that in my Instagram, and after that is after that is what it is. So Bison King.
Good. Welcome to.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead, Mike.
Yes, kind of getting back to coming into Carolina and playing for a guy like Rod Brind'amour. What's your thought? I mean, you touched on the fact that there's good players and they play up tempo. Does that really kind of fit your style of play? Is that the game you want to play more so than grinding and that sort of thing?
Yeah, I think that's for sure good for me because I think my strength is skating and I can really like forecheck. Yeah, I think that's gonna be good fit on that team.
Corey?
Yeah. So do you know yet when you're going to meet the team? Are you going to meet them in Las Vegas or in Arizona?
No, I don't know yet because I need visa to go there US and I don't know how many days that's gonna take. So hopefully everything goes well and I can be with the team soon as possible.
Corey, you can follow that up.
Yeah. And I just wanted to say, have you had a chance to talk to Rod Brind'amour yet about how he envisions what your role will be and how you fit in?
So yeah, actually he called me. So he just say he's happy to I come there and like gonna work hard and then like let's see where that goes. But he said if I be myself, everything's gonna be good. So I'm really excited to come there and show my skills.
Ryan?
Yes, obviously we know the connection you have with Sebastian Aho. I was just curious, is there any other guys on the team that you're familiar with or have a connection with?
So I know Teuvo pretty well too. We have been same summer group couple years back in the days. So I know him well, and we played golf and tennis in the summer too. So I know him too. And the other fields I know a little bit, but not that well. So yeah, I know everyone a little bit.
All right. Thanks, Jesse, for taking out the time. We'll have this recording up on Canes PR. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
So obviously, in here I am. He gave proper pronunciation of his name. You heard it from him himself. It's gonna take some getting used to. I think we're all used to pronouncing it Jesse Puljujarvi, but as time goes on, we'll get better with it. But obviously, the whole Bison King thing, that was really funny. But my big takeaway from that, a lot of it, was typical, guy gets traded to new place type stuff. We heard that with Brent Burns and Max Pacioretty and all those guys, back in the summer. So it is what it is there. Nothing in particular really stood out there. Obviously, he's gonna say he's excited, and he's gonna talk about how he knows Sebastian Aho, knows Teuvo, kind of knows the other Finnish players a little bit. But for me, what was really interesting there was the visa issue, and not knowing when he'll be here. I imagine, it'll be pretty. They're gonna probably try to get it done as quick as possible. But we'll just have to wait and see. But with that wasn't something I was aware of until I listened to the call, and it was very interesting. It's not something that I think a lot of people take into consideration a lot of some of these foreign players, especially like guys that are Canada and all that stuff. Sometimes visas fly under the radar. The issues there that guys may have. Obviously, not the same sport, but I remember a few months back, Kenny Omega in AEW, he wasn't allowed to. He's Canadian. He wasn't allowed to come here, because of a visa issue, and they're the Elite, they were off TV for a few weeks, because of that. It's very interesting. It's something that I think, not a lot of people, think about sometimes, the visas. So that'll be interesting to see how that pans out. That's something we obviously can't rush it. It's just going to be, it happens when it happens. And it'll be, there's no telling when it'll be, to be honest. We I wouldn't think Vegas tonight, since he is having those issues. Maybe an outside shot of Arizona for like a temporary visa, but honestly, we're gonna look at the Hurricane schedule real quick just to kind of give an idea. But if he is having some visa issues, I would imagine it may be a little bit before the Hurricane, or before he is able to suit up. There's Sunday at home against Tampa. Yeah, again today and Friday against Vegas and Arizona, respectively. But one that kind of sticks out is Montreal next Tuesday. I think if we don't see him by then, but either tonight, Friday, or Sunday, I do think we probably will see him next Tuesday against Montreal. But that's because he's already in Canada. He can kind of catch a plane to the other side of the country and get on over there. But I would say that would probably be the latest. I don't think we'll see him tonight. Maybe Friday. I think Sunday against Tampa is probably the most realistic of when we see him. But honestly, this is something that it's out of my jurisdiction. I don't know how the visa things works. I've never had to get a work visa or anything like that. So I don't know how it works, how long it takes, or anything like that. So it's going to take however long it takes. But plenty of time to order your Bison King jerseys or t-shirts or whatever. Plenty of time. Get the number 13. Yeah, that was something. Earlier today as well. Yeah, it was announced he was going to wear number 13 here with the Hurricanes. Last one by Max Domi, last year's trade deadline acquisition. So at the end of the day, he's here now. And we'll talk about when he is able to finally suit up for the Hurricanes as time rolls on. But we do need to talk about what other moves the Carolina Hurricanes could potentially make at the deadline, and we will do that, folks, right after this quick break, folks. And of course, now it is time to talk about the lovely folks over at Athletic Greens. I have not drank mine yet today, but folks, I've told you guys a lot. If you've been around for a long time, Athletic Greens is absolutely fantastic. It is lifestyle friendly, whether you eat keto, paleo, vegan, dairy free, or gluten free. It contains less than 1 gram of sugar, no GMOs, no nasty chemicals, or artificial anything, while still tasting good. It supports better sleep quality and recovery, supports mental clarity and alertness. It is the one thing with the best things, because Athletic Greens uses the best of the best products based on the latest science, with constant product iterations and third-party testing. And multivitamins are very, very important, folks. We all need to be taking care of ourselves, and multivitamins are a crucial part of that. And with that, you want to be choosing one that your body will actually absorb with high quality ingredients. And AG1 is a small micro habit with big benefits. It is one thing you can do every single day to take great care of yourself. And your subscription comes with a year's supply of vitamin D, which is important to add into your into your routine in these winter months, because sometimes it's cold, you don't really want to go outside. And one thing I have personally started doing with this is taking after workouts. I feel really good. It helps me recover. It's a great thing to do. And if that's something you would want to do as well, go do it. And right now, it is time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition. It is just 1 scoop in a cup of water every day. That is it. No need for a million different pills and supplements and all that stuff to look out for your health. And to make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/NHL network. Again, that is athleticgreens.com/NHL network to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance. Now, moving back to the trade deadline, we've acquired Jesse Puljujarvi. Great. Glad to have him here. Glad to have the Bison King here. Now, time to look ahead to what else the Hurricanes do this week, because I do not feel that that is going to be the only move that they make. Now, at the top of the episode, I mentioned how a lot of us thought Timo Meier would be the guy. And I feel like because that didn't happen, this trade kind of underwhelmed some people a bit, because it wasn't that blockbuster trade. All we did was trade away a prospect 1-for-1. The Hurricanes traded away, I'm probably going to butcher the name, Patrick Puistola. That was all the Hurricanes traded. No salary retained for Edmonton. Yes, that's $3 million cap hit, but the Hurricanes got the room. And what else are they going to do is going to be the big question, because I don't feel this is it. Again, I said a seventh defenseman, would be a good move. As far as who's out there for that, I'm not 100% sure, who that would be. And then as far as your blockbuster forward type moves, Patrick Kane's been traded again. Didn't want him, but he was the name that was circling around, so we'll mention him. Vladimir Tarasenko and Timo Meier. They've all been moved already. So one thing I was talking about with Gil Martin from the Islanders show earlier today was that he brought up a good point that the Hurricanes may end up getting someone with term on their contract, and I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility at all, because we have seen it before. They did it with Brady Shea. They did it with Vincent Trocheck. Getting guys with term left on their deals, I think that is a possibility. As far as who they would go with in that situation, I'm not really sure, because a lot of the guys that have been circled around with that as far as the trade deadline were guys with contracts coming up pretty soon. So not a whole lot of names are really come to mind whenever we're looking at guys with term left. I think a big nut. I don't think he has term left, and if he does, it's probably only like a year. But Jacob Chikrin from Arizona, he's a guy that I've seen the Hurricanes kind of linked to. Obviously, not a seventh defenseman. Someone would be getting bumped out in that sense, and there would definitely be some big shifts there on the blue line. But that's like the one big name that I have seen the Hurricanes could potentially do as far as a blockbuster trade. But even then, I've kind of seen them a little bit farther down in the pecking order with some of that stuff, as opposed to some other teams. So it's going to be an interesting next few days, because everyone that I have said that the Hurricanes could potentially go after, they weren't able to get it done. So I'm not really sure who they're going to go after now, guys. I really don't know. And that's just something we're all just going to have to take a look. I know Elias Lindholm has been a name as well that people are kind of wanting them to go after, since Timo Meier is off the board. That would be interesting, considering he's from the he was with the Hurricanes before, then he got traded to the Flames, and then if you come back, that would be an interesting move to see how he would fit into the current Hurricanes system and lineup. That would be very interesting. Very, very interesting to see how things would shake out there and where he would slot in. I feel he would definitely be a top 6 guy who would get bumped down, and just how would that work out? That's the only him and Jacob from Arizona. Those are the two big trades I could see that are left for the Hurricanes to make. But even then, it's not one that I'm super, super confident. Timo Meier, I was confident, that the Hurricanes could get him, with what was reportedly being asked for by San Jose. I was confident the Hurricanes could get him, but they didn't, and New Jersey did. So we're just going to have to wait and see. We're 100% going to be talking about more trades that the Hurricanes make this week as the week goes on. And in the meantime, make sure you're following the show on Twitter and Instagram at LO_Hurricanes. Subscribe on YouTube at Locked On Hurricanes. And don't forget to follow myself on Twitter at JaredEllis_96. I'll be tweeting about trades. If we have them, you'll get my an instant reaction. And I want to see y'all's instant reaction as well. So whenever that's happening, whenever a trade is made, make sure you tag me in it. I want to know your thoughts. So make sure you are doing that, folks, and make sure you have a great rest of your day. That is the most important thing. Enjoy your Wednesday. Enjoy the rest of your week. Enjoy Jesse Puljujarvi, the Bison King, being a Carolina Hurricane. And I will talk to you guys in the next episode when we preview tonight's game against the Vegas Golden Knights.